Conference A ahead of Glasgow, who are at home to Ulster tonight? Or will the Blues leapfrog Connacht up into third place in Conference A ahead of Connacht's trick-beat trip to play Zebra yesterday? Munster know that victory tonight and a playoff place is in the bag. Munster need to win their final 3 matches to secure a home semi-final, and with that they will earn a week off by, of course, missing the quarter-finals. Cardiff also know 3 wins and they will be through to the playoffs. Blues head coach Sean Mulvihill makes 4 changes to the side that dismissed the Scarlets at the Arms Park a fortnight ago in round 18. 3 enforced changes in the forward pack. Shane Lewis-Hughes deputises for Josh Navidi. Dylan Lewis is in a tight head for Dimitri Arhip, and there's no Nick Williams, so in the reshuffle Seb Davies plays in the second row. There is a late change to the Cardiff team, and it features Gareth Anscombe moving to fly half to deputise for the injured Jared Evans, who's picked up a knock in the warm-up. So Matthew Morgan goes to full-back, and Harry Millard is on the bench wearing number 23. That is a backline full of talent for the Cardiff Blues, who are back in form, 4 wins in their last 5. 6 weeks to go in the season, and Munster are pretty much exactly where they were 12 months ago, competing on 2 fronts. Johan van Graan starting 15 shows now 7 changes from that which started last week's European quarter-final win against Edinburgh at Murrayfield. 4 switches in the pack. In come Kevin O'Byrne, Billy Holland, Chris Clute and Arno Botha. And there also is a change in the Munster backline. Darren Sweetnam comes in to play on the wing because Keith Earls has picked up an injury in the warm-up. At 10 it's Tyler Blendall as he continues to deputise for Joey Carberry, and Mike Healy is fit and well enough to take his place at full-back. Marius Maitreya is the man in charge in front of a 4th full house at Irish Independent Park in Cork tonight. Squally showers around about 20 minutes ago. It's a slippy, greasy surface and a wet ball, but conditions at this moment in time are set fair as we are underway. And it's the man who didn't expect to start tonight, Darren Sweetnam, wearing number 11, who took that drilled ball from Gareth Anscombe above his head just down below us. Just 49 days now to the grand final at Celtic Park in Glasgow. Will we see either or both potentially of these sides in that grand final in 49 days' time? Tonight's game could have a big impact on that equation.
Well,
so
Darren
much to play
Sweetnam
for.
just got a late call up, though. That's a sensational way to prove you're ready, mentally ready and physically ready. Class catch over the head from Munster.
And that's a pretty decent take at the front of the line out too. So it's 1 against the throw, Christian Dacey. 8 times capped Welsh hooker, and it's a milestone for him tonight, 150th appearance, and he'll look to forget the opening 50 seconds or so. It's a bright start down this left-hand side for Darren Sweetnam. Recycled by Billy Holland, ball into midfield. It's going to be fascinating to see how both attacks set up and how they boss the breakdown, which will be a key area, and who better to open up a discussion on that than Martin Williams.
Just looking around for that, who better then, but no, I'm just going to say there, for the first line-up for the Cardiff Blues was ideal position, and they've been so dangerous off first phase, but it was brilliant from Oman. He got up in front of Seb Davies at the front to steal the ball, and then really well worked on the short side to put Darren Sweetnam away. So it is a fascinating contest, because you go back early in the early rounds, the 4th round of this match, where this matchup, Munster just could not cope with the Cardiff Blues attack, and Willis Alahola just tore them to shreds. So defensively, Munster going to have to be on their game.
There was a lot riding on that game for the Cardiff Blues, because if memory serves, they'd lost the opening 3 games of the season by a combined margin of 5 points. And they needed a big performance, and they certainly got it.
Yeah, and they are the sort of side we saw against the Scarlets a couple of weeks ago, that when they do get on top and when they're given space and time, they're a very, very dangerous team. But the conditions, it's a totally different environment when you come over to Cork.
But looking at Cardiff, we've covered a number of the Cardiff games, and they have done that to all the sides. Leinster, all the Irish sides have been torn up. What happens to them in Europe? How are they not unlocking European defences?
I just think, you know, they're in a very tough group against Glasgow, Saracens and Lyon. Did well against Lyon. It's just maybe that one area we're looking at there. They are so dangerous when the game is broken up, but in Europe, in those winter games where you need those big heavy packs, they've just come up short.
Conor Murray very effective last week, and well, in terms of the set piece, we've played 3 minutes. We've had one against the throw at line-out time for Cardiff, and now we've got a scrum penalty. It's a binding issue in that front row, spotted by Marius Maitreya.
He lost patience pretty quickly, didn't he? He could see that neither the scrum, either side were prepared to settle it down and be honest in a way.
I think it's good to see, though, that we don't want to see 4-5 resets. You just want to see the referee making the decision. I think he's penalised. I think he got a little bit of help from his assistant touch judge, and he's penalised Dylan Lewis for going to the ground early, losing his bind.
Just in terms of the kick, when Tyler Blyndale came on last weekend, he nailed it from the touchline. I think this is a more difficult kick because the wind is blowing as he's looking at it into his right shoulder, blowing from right to left. So if he is going to miss it, it could go to the left.
Has he given that enough? The wind is swirling around. That'll give you a measure of just how strong it is. You could actually see the rugby ball oscillating on the kicking tee just before he struck it. That's why he took every second that was available to him.
Well, what you can't pick up on the screen there is how the Munster flags in the corner are actually blowing exactly as the ball was being pushed. I think it was a brave decision to take the kick. It was on the outermost reaches.
Now Munster ball with that man Chris Farrell, and he gets them moving into midfield, into Cardiff Blues territory, inside the opening 5 minutes. Now Conor Murray, did he spot half a little break there around the fringes? Chris Farrell, as ever, was making that run on the inside. Ball slow coming back to Dave Kilcoyne in the scrum half position, and now a little bit of daylight for Scannell, and he makes decent progress, accelerating through the tackle. Farrell, that midfield combination, trying to find their rhythm early, and dropping the ball was Jean Klein. Knock-on advantage to the Blues, and they kick the advantage away down into that Munster 22. Retreating back there is Sweetenham, and he'll have to give that everything he has to find touch on this near side, and that's a great nudge up the touchline in these conditions.
Well, I think Cardiff did exceptionally well to maximise the ball, conscious of the wind. They put it down, right down under the posts. You can see this what Scannell adds, and when you know when Chris Farrell is waiting outside again, two big ball carrying centres. Clever play, but an excellent clearance kick from Sweetenham.
And so Christian Dacey with the armband tonight, looking to make amends, and this time it's a lot more straightforward. Seth Davies and Rory Thornton in the second row tonight. A little bit of a back five reshuffle in the pack enforced upon them, and there's that little pop pass into midfield. Shearing break, great opportunity here potentially for the first score. Oh, the scrum half is going to go all the way to the line. Can he get it over? Thomas Williams, Marius Maitreya raises his arm to signal the try, and what a shearing break and a brilliant score, and a finish that is from Williams, and the Blues strike first in court.
Sì, assolutamente.
Fantastic first phase attack from the Cardiff Blues. Win the line out this time, went safe to Seb Davis, and it's that midfield again which caused Munster so many problems at the Arms Park. Great line from Ray Lilo, and this man Thomas Williams, one of the best supporting scrum halves you'll see, and a great finish as well. He still had a lot to do, but he's got great pace, great strength, but it all comes again from the decoys in midfield, the options the Cardiff Blues have got, and a great support run and finish from Thomas Williams. So we talked about it at the top of the show, the width they get on the game, but they can go through that midfield as well, and Really, one chance, one try from the Cardiff Blues. Excellent play.
Sì, Granding a
Excellent
posto.
play.
Okay.
Were Munster victims of maybe ball watching a little bit? Just were probably trying to shut the door from a wider pass and didn't block the
Prima non si è
inside
visto
line.
niente di particolare.
It's something that the Cardiff Blues, you know, when they do get a first face ball, they are lethal because of the strike runners they've got. You know, do you mark Halaholo, do you mark Lilo, do you mark Owen Lane, Matthew Morgan, who's at 15 now. So many threats, and right option chosen, and Lilo, a huge gap in midfield.
Well, as we know, he helped himself to 20 points in the Grand Slam game at the Principality against Ireland, and Gareth Anscombe has the very straightforward task by his very high standards of notching that conversion. And what a start this is, what a statement of intent from the Cardiff Blues.
Still a great finish, wasn't it, from Thomas Williams? You thought maybe he could have given it, but he backed himself, uses his strength and his pace to get over the line, and great start for the Blues.
Still only 24, what a prospect he is. He started the Six Nations game in Paris on the opening night against France.
No, 6
And
please,
he's been
thank you.
so effective this season. And that Cardiff Blues midfield in the last 4 or 5 weeks in particular really found their form again. They were electrifying in the early part of the season. And we heard John Ryan pre-game saying that they'll have spent a lot of time, Munster, this week analysing this Cardiff Blues attack. Healy. Blendell. And Sweetenham back against the green. Munster up to halfway with Holland. There it is for Conor Murray. And Blendell kicks in behind.
Non l'ha toccata.
Nothing easy for the back three. Ball wouldn't quite carry for Matthew Morgan. And he thumps one down into the Munster half of the field. Troy trying to get behind Mike Healy here. Can he spot a gap? Quicker ball this time on the short side. Murray to Scannell, and they work it through to the Munster captain Peter O'Mahony. Murray waits, and so too Kilcoyne. Straight away Kilcoyne pumps those legs and drives into the cover tackle. Murray now needs support. Cardiff so good in this kind of position. Remember, no Josh Navidi, no Nick Williams tonight. Between the two of them, they've upwards of 40 turnovers this season. Ray Robinson though is pretty good in that department. So too Josh Turnbull. Healy, advantage coming the way of Munster here. Almost up to 10 minutes, and now Munster looking for a riposte to that brilliant try from Thomas Williams. Murray, Blendell, Sweetenham. We've got Chris Farrell loitering with severe intent wide on the left-hand side. No advantage coming. Patrick goes for the penalty.
Well, I tell you, there's been a subtle change in Munster's attack there. Kilcoyne took the ball off his scrum half and found the gain line and kept pumping his legs. The previous 3 or 4 attacks from Munster, they tried to pull it out the back door and get it into midfield, and it just didn't look as crisp. Going back to that hard line, and then O'Byrne providing another hard line, maybe something that Munster need to do into this wind.
Yeah, and I think the Blues, if you watch how the Cardiff Blues defend, they've got really, really quick off the line, use huge line speed. So sometimes you've got to go into that blitz defence to shorten it up. This time, I think he was penalised, Seb Davis, for no arms in the tackle. But they're going down the short side as well, Munster, to try and negate that blitz defence and getting some good gains from that. So
need to go first.
Good to play defensively, like you mentioned, Conor, as well. Cardiff Blues got so many threats over the ball. Look out for the tight head, young Dylan Lewis as well, who, you know, not sort of something you associate with a tight head prop. He's a brilliant jackler in the contact area.
He's still only 23, already capped 10 times by Wales. Blendell, head down, full of concentration, full of conviction, strikes straight and true through the ball and through the uprights, and 11.5 minutes on the watch, and Munster are on the scoreboard. They trail the Cardiff Blues 7 points to 3.
That's an excellent Munster score to leak the try so early on and so simply in many ways, but to fight their way up and build phases and get back and put pressure on Cardiff will give them confidence.
The restart is comfortable this time for Sweetenham, and into the arms of the big ball carrying South African back rower Arno Botha. 161 carries now this season, that is.
Use it.
And Conor Murray, he sends one down this near side. He was excellent last week at BT Murrayfield.
Yeah, it's interesting from a Blues point of view that Munster are looking to put the ball off the park. Could be an area when you go Matthew Morgan at 15 sides do tend to test him with a high ball. But what this does do, it gives this lethal Blues backline a chance to attack again. There'll be some demons in that Munster backline on first phase defence. We've got to win the line out first.
Almost identical position to the one he took inside the opening 90 seconds, and it's been pinched by Munster. Set piece very interesting. A couple of line-out steals and a scrum penalty. That was very contestable for Rory Scannell.
Advantage.
Not forward off the hand of Ray Lilo, taken on here by Dave Kilcoyne. Another player who's banging form. He came out of the Six Nations in very, very good form. Galvanised by his performances. Scannell started the game very well indeed on the attack.
Easy.
Murray, Farrell. And he lines up Gareth Anscombe. Klein. Tackles coming in from all angles. There's Dylan Lewis. Rory Thornton over it on that occasion. It's there for Conor Murray, and now Farrell again and Klute. And O'Mahony into the Cardiff 22.
Stop, Blue.
And that's a decent piece of defensive work. It's warming up very nicely.
Yes, very physical, isn't it? I mentioned earlier the line speed of the Blues and the contact on the gain line is outstanding.
That's why he was so clever from the Munster out half, Tyler Blyndale, to spot the onrushing and the little chip over the top just to try and keep the Cardiff defence a little bit more honest. Is honestly a word you can associate with defence? I don't know.
Yeah, no, it is smart play, and it's, you know, for anybody who thought Munster were going to walk this game, right, this is going to be a real battle.
Ball!
Taken at the front by the Munster captain Peter O'Mahony.
Don't change your bind. Four. Stay by there. Backwards.
One of the surviving members of the last time that Munster won this title in 2011. Conor Murray. And the line speed there from Cardiff, and the tackle coming in on Kevin O'Byrne, but it's another Munster penalty.
Yeah, I'm having a word. It was nothing dangerous, but I'm having a word with it. Yeah. Number 4. Please be aware of your tackle technique. You cannot just go with the shoulder first and then make an attempt to wrap your arm. It's dangerous. It's 2 against him. Even if it's nothing dangerous, but be careful.
Well, it's the same player who conceded the penalty from which Tyler Blyndale slotted the penalty for a no-arms tackle.
Yeah,
no,
that happened right in front of us, and I'll be honest, I didn't see too much wrong with it in full speed. It just looked like a good contact, like you mentioned a number of times on the line speed of the Blues. It's obviously a tactic.
Well, let's have a look at it.
It just loses his technique, doesn't he? And it's
well, part of his Kevin O'Byrne is trying to avoid the tackle as well.
He stepped out, exactly. It's just.
But I'd have to give the Cardiff second or 10 out of 10 for pace off the baseline.
That was the problem, because he was going so quick off the line, he couldn't adjust his body. And concedes the penalty with a great attacking opportunity for Munster.
Delivery was good from Kevin O'Byrne. He hit his man, John Klein, and we've seen Munster in this corner in court scored quite a few tries this season. O'Byrne wriggled free and ball goes to the deck, and here they come now with Arno Bota. 2 or 3 Cardiff players in there making it very difficult for him, and in comes the cavalry in Munster red to try and get the ball to the floor. Not quick enough, and that's a big turnover from the Blues.
Yes, really good work from young Shane Lewis-Hughes along with Gareth Anscombe. I think Arno Bota's eyes lit up when he saw Gareth Anscombe in front of him, tried to run over the outside half, but between them they managed to hold the big South African up and win a turnover. It's a big turnover as well.
But he was still running his arc, trying to get into his receiving position as he got the ball, so he was in a kind of a weakish position in many ways. Like, Bota's a monster, so for any Cardiff defender to lock him in like that is a serious effort from Cardiff.
Make sure you're in a pushing position as well, and don't.
I think that Munster are looking far better when they get to the gain line powerfully as early as they possibly can to suck in some of those Cardiff enthusiastic defenders and give them a bit more space. That doesn't mean they have to take it one out. They can still vary where they're actually taking that ball on.
Interestingly, Ulster have their noses in front with a converted try at Scotstoun against the conference leaders Glasgow.
Set.
And And it's Cardiff who have the first try of the evening here, 16 minutes in. Two front rows are down, the ball is there at the base, and it's difficult for Williams. He's been snared just a yard outside the Cardiff try line. Munster have turned it over, it's there for Conor Murray. Opportunity surely here. Kilcoyne, he two to his left hand side. He tried to go through the space on his own. Murray now on the short drive, penalty coming. Can Munster ground the ball beyond the try line?
Stay behind.
Conor Murray assessing the options, and they go to their big ball carriers. And now they work it wide to Farrell. Can he get it down? Munster have a try, 17 minutes in. And they've hit back in style here. There was a penalty coming, but it came from a Cardiff turnover right on their own try line. And Munster hit the lead for the first time in the game.
I know Chris Farrell deserves huge plaudits for barging 2 against 1 and getting the try, but the Munster front row need to take a bow as well. They put enormous pressure on the Cardiff back row. They just didn't cope with it. They couldn't exit. For me, the number 8 needs to take that ball on himself. He needs to take responsibility and not to shovel it on and give the problem to a scrum half.
Yeah, and you know, we spoke about missing Nick Williams at the top of the show. Josh Toombl isn't a number 8. You know, he's a second row flanker, and it's those little skills, a little decision making at the base of the scrum when you're under pressure. It's just a lob pass to Thomas Williams, puts him under all sorts of pressure. Great steal by O'Mahony, and then it was just inevitable that one of the big men from Munster was going to get over, and that's a really strong finish from Farrell.
Conversion added, and that is the perfect riposte for Munster, and it's the try accredited to the man who scored 2 when we were here earlier this season and saw Munster beat Edinburgh. Bota.
Rock!
Almost at the end of the first quarter of the game, and it's living up to the anticipation and the hype behind it. Two teams in very, very good form. Munster have won.
Sorry, Conor, this is what part of the game where when the referee says use it, there's supposed to be a 3-second clock. I think if they shorten that clock, it puts much more pressure on the exit kicking, therefore the accuracy will dip a little bit as well, and it might keep the ball alive a little bit more. I think that's an area that could be refereed a bit more strongly.
I completely agree with you. You spend half the game watching a ball at the back of a ruck, don't you, during some of these games, so I totally agree with you. But interesting again, they're obviously backing the line out defensively, Munster, they're putting it off the park.
Williams and through the legs, unorthodox from Halaholo, probably good decision. Williams again, he's a little bundle of energy and tenacity. Anscombe zips one out to this near side to Lane.
Second man in, 6. Don't touch him, please. Your second man in.
Williams waits. Reskill.
No.
A man who spent 6 or 7 years, I think it was, at Saracens. He's got 3 Premiership medals and a Champions Cup medal in his locker. Glasgow have hit back against Ulster meantime in Scotland, and underneath this one is Sweetenham. He's got a little bit of time before Owen Lane arrives.
Rock.
Big physical unit, Owen Lane on that right hand side. O'Byrne, and he's hit pretty hard by Dylan Lewis. The tackle's flying in now.
No hands. No.
And still not out.
Use it.
Morgan underneath this one. He watched that all the way and took it brilliantly. Sweetenham couldn't quite get there. Morgan doesn't quite manage to get away from Arno Bota. Ball was there, and it was there for Clute. And who better in that kind of situation? John Ryan does a decent job at scrum half too. This is developing into a very interesting tactical battle. That one stays in field as well. Blayandal.
Stop. Let him go.
And this time it's Conway. He was excellent last week at fullback at Murrayfield.
Stop. Stop 10. Stop there.
Fine touch either. Gareth Anscombe now. Half got away from Conway. He popped it up off the floor. Some of the Munster fans on that far side felt it might have drifted forward. And struggled but claimed at the second attempt. Williams now Anscombe. Lewis, has he dropped that? That's been knocked on. Advantage to Munster here. Ryan was quick, so too was Healy. Good defence. Hollow did well to spot that. We will go back to the knock-on.
We're going back to the knock-on.
It seems after that try from Cardiff, they haven't really touched the ball. It's all Munster, and I was looking at Cardiff building up on that mistake. They had the ball for maybe 15 seconds. That was it. They handed it back. They just need to hold the ball a little longer.
Yeah, it's frenetic, isn't it? I think both teams, like Conor mentioned, it was a real tactical battle and very physical on the gain line. It's a lot on this game for both teams. But yeah, just the Blues just need to keep the ball, go through the phases and get some territory as well. Just put Munster under pressure. You know, they've had one opportunity, I'm not shown how dangerous they can be, but just spilling ball and discipline is letting them down a little bit as well.
Yeah, I tell you that second row, Seb Davies, he's thrown himself.
He's a good athlete, Seb Davies. You know, he's fallen down the pecking order a little bit with club and country, but he's an outstanding talent and a real athlete, and you can tell he's probably wants to make a mark tonight. He hasn't been getting the nod in the starting 15 for a few weeks, but he's a real talent.
Well, Ollie Robinson looks as though he's okay. He's taken a bang to the ribs and they can't afford another injury in the back row.
Again, 4. Okay, thank you.
Interesting replacement in the back row for the Blues tonight. Grandson of the great Sir Ian Botham, James Botham.
Turnover is okay, so no advantage, just a
big night for him. Just signed a new contract. First professional contract.
Bit of an all-rounder, isn't it?
Bit of an all-rounder by all accounts. It was coming, Conor. Well, you've been waiting all night for that one.
just occurred to me, honestly.
I'm here all week.
He's a beefy lad, isn't he?
I can guarantee they're not written down. Conor has memorised these. I'm looking at his notes and there's none of this written down.
Bailed out by Liam Tolman. Thank you. Now Conor Murray. Scannell as ever is readily available on his inside. Takes the short pass and takes 2 to bring him to ground. One of whom was that aforementioned Ollie Robinson. Josh Turnbull that time with a challenge. Here's Jean Klein, huge physical presence in that second row for Munster. Tagburn and CJ Stander, Niall Scannell on a very strong Munster bench tonight. It's going to be a very interesting 80 minutes if it remains this finely balanced. Territory is at a premium.
And that's as an old forward, that was a fantastic kick from Conor Murray. You go in nowhere in that grey area around midfield, and with his experience and his skill set, just threads that and puts the Blues under pressure. Their line out hasn't been going all that well so far in this game, so that's a brilliant kick from Conor Murray.
On the line. Step.
That's a sign that they're a bit worried shortening the line out.
It's always difficult to hear down here in Cork, the Munster support over on that far side. Vociferous in the ear of Christian Dacey.
No. Don't bind, got
the call right, got the delivery right now, and they need to execute the exit strategy to the same effect. Watched all the way by Conway. Gets his pass away to Blendall over the top now. Munster in a little bit of open country here from broken field situation. Farrell up into the Blues 22.
Ball is available.
And he cut in field, and here they come now up the middle with Klutze. Munster in numbers to try and clear out and affect that ball back for Murray as quickly as possible. Klein now. Really strong challenge again from Rhys Gill. There was no way through for Klein, even with all his ballast and granite shoulder. Taken on by Sweetenham. He's been very impressive the opening 24 minutes here. Murray.
This is why the clean out.
And they're lining up their targets, that Blues defence. Scannell, can he find a little bit of wriggle room in there? Taken low by Williams, and that's a turnover for Cardiff, and we've seen them do that time and again this season. We need to be in so quickly on top of the ball.
I think it was Farrell came in desperation to try and protect the ball, lost his feet and gave a terrible picture to the referee.
Yeah, Josh Turnbull and Dylan Lewis, I think, getting over the ball. And you're right, I think Liam was spot on because of the desperation from Chris Farrell. You see, good tackle from Thomas Williams because he gets Scannell down early, which allows Dylan Lewis to get over the ball. And he loses his foot over Thomas Williams, doesn't he, Farrell? needed that penalty because they're under pressure. The Cardiff Blues at the minute. It's all Munster. Wave and wave of attack.
Is the mark? Please, keep a good gap, please.
171 turnovers in the Pro 14 this season.
So it's a 5-1 line out again, going short for Cardiff.
Va bene, grazie. More!
Klein had some weight, doesn't he?
No forward progress. Retreating slightly, if anything now. Sweetenham retreating into his 22. And he's been pretty comfortable in the swirling conditions.
Stay 10.
Second against fourth, remember, coming into round 19 this weekend. Munster against Cardiff. Cardiff outside of the playoff positions. No Welsh side coming into this weekend, by the way, in the playoff positions. The potential for all four Irish provinces to get there.
Captain,
lots to happen over the course of the next 3 or 4 weekends. 3 rounds of matches to go.
Stay 2. Stay 2-8.
And this time all the way to the end, and that was well watched by Kevin O'Byrne. They are having their struggles at line-out time. Christian Dacey and the Cardiff Blues. Blendal straightens and tries to go inside Gareth Anscombe. A little bit of a decoy move, and it's all the way out to Farrell. That's a very interesting contest between these centres. That's a high one. Penalty coming here for Munster, taken on by John Ryan.
Yeah.
Taking on Rhys Gill and Dylan Lewis. Murray. Blendal that time at second receiver, and here's Sweetenham out to O'Mahony. Is there an advantage coming here for Munster?
Rock.
That's messy ball for Bota, who stoops low to pick it up.
Still advantage if you want, 9.
There's a new advantage here. Thornton made the tackle. Here's Conway now.
Going back.
I tell you, it's a fair effort to land a high tackle on Farrell at outside centre. He's one of the tallest number 13s in world rugby. But he just got a massive left-hand fend in.
Just high. Number 12.
What a fend. And took a second bite of the cherry, and he kind of went from man ball. It was a safety belt tackle of sorts, which was far from safe in many ways.
It was just desperation from Hallohollows and to stop him going through. But again, that all came from a botched line out from the Cardiff Blues. You know, they lots of movement in that line out, go to the back, and these swirling conditions is a very difficult jump at a hit to the back. Here we go, it's an overthrow. Well picked up by Byrne, but it really is every time, unless they go to the very front, the Blues, they're struggling to win ball at that middle and back, and giving Munster huge opportunities.
Always good to have a left-footed kicker in your arsenal in these swirling conditions, and Rory Scannell got every inch out of that penalty. Puts Kevin O'Byrne in the ideal position, and they've worked a clever one very, very tight to that touchline. Can they recycle and profit from this position as we approach the half-hour mark? Munster leading by 10 points to 7, and they're inches, if not feet, shy of the line, and they're on the charge again. Seb Davies has just got his body underneath that. There's another Munster advantage coming here. All hands to the pump for the Cardiff Blues. It's been almost relentless pressure from Munster, having gone behind so early to that Williams try, and they look to be over here, and Jean Klein is over, and Munster have their second try. Wave after wave of attack close in from that line out on the far side, and John Klein gets his 9th try in Munster colours.
Well, all week there's been debates about cup rugby and how to win cup matches. Munster went down to a relatively cheap score, and they've played classic cup rugby to stay in the game and put as much pressure on Cardiff. Every single time something wasn't working, either Blendal or his half-back partner at scrum half kept the ball in front of the forwards, and then the forwards said, right, you put me in the position, now it's up to us. Quality cup rugby from Munster.
Just taking their opportunities, haven't they? You know, the Blues' discipline has let them down a couple of times. Their accuracy at line-out time, and you come away to home to sides like Munster. You know, you've got to nail those moments, and full credit to Munster. Just sheer power in the end, and weight the numbers was going to get them over the line.
Not a great deal that Ollie Robinson could do in that situation, nor indeed anyone else for that matter, up against the ballast and size and physicality of Jean Klein. Difficult angle in these conditions, but that's a really, really good strike from Tyler Blendall. And all of a sudden, 30 minutes into the first half, and Munster open up a 10-point advantage. That's a beautiful strike off the kicking tee from the New Zealander. Really well struck.
To back you up there, Marty, Cardiff's 7 lineouts, 3 lost, and they've also conceded 4 penalties. Discipline.
Just gives Munster the opportunity to get down and win territory, doesn't it? With the carriers they've got, the big men they've got, like both here, eventually they're going to get over the line, which they've done twice. But that's a good steal, it's a good rip.
There's a high tackle in there, I think, as well on Bota. Certainly that's what the crowd were.
Was ripped first. Was ripped forward by blue first and then knock on blue, red.
No, nothing
ripped
for the
forward
tackle
by
was
blue
fine,
first
so
and then knock on red. So it's a red scrub.
It's a great skill to watch, actually. It only seems to have arrived into the game in the last couple of seasons. The ball carrier being vulnerable to a rip.
So
maybe the evolution was a double tackle and then the rip. So first of all, you double team him, and when you slow him down, a man of that stature, then it's all about getting on the ball.
I think Seb Davis has got away with another one.
I'm sticking by that high tackle.
The high tackle you spotted in real time, Connor. He's got away with one. Good strip. He has definitely thrown himself about, Seb Davis. He's got to be very careful though.
Crouch! Bind!
Great physical edge to the game, and the
He both has detached his hands. He's ready. He's not even binding the Munster number 8. He's got one thing in mind: ball into his hands and going right.
Speak to me, please. Leave my
It's been a shrewd acquisition.
I'm staying on this side. Now listen, boys. Last time I was on this side was okay. I'm staying on this side. Please make an effort to keep your feet underneath. Keep your feet underneath. Bind up, please. Okay. Let's go. Time on.
Reskill 32 now on that loose head side of the front row. Made his debut against Munster at the Arms Park in Cardiff in 2006.
So there's the number 8's hands detached. Technically he's not bound to the scrum.
And here he goes.
It's a great spot, Liam, because it's virtually impossible for Ollie Womps on the open side to get off the scrum and defend when he's off that quick.
Tyler Blendall looking to use his pace. Here come Munster again. They've monopolised possession really for the last 25 minutes or thereabouts, and Bota's seen more and more of the ball. Munster getting their big ball carriers involved to very good effect.
Wait. Use it!
7 minutes to half time. 17 points to 7. Swirling kick and well taken by Morgan. Anscombe now. Sweetenham was quickly back into position in the backfield. Got the signal from Clute to send it skyward. Rather miscued his kick. Messy ball, but play on, says Marius Mitreo only, and did that.
Red! No.
On it goes from Gill to Thornton there for Williams again, and Cardiff set up their attack once more with Morgan. And they find a little bit of penetration now. They look for space on the far side from Ray Lilo, but nothing doing.
Tell you what, Kevin O'Byrne did fantastically there then, the Munster hooker. He had a Lilo, one-on-one with Lilo. Just managed to keep track of him and just kept covering and stopped the ball going back on the inside for Aled Summerhill. He's taking a little tactical breather there now. It's good work from Kevin, just to keep working on the inside and get in between the ball and Lilo.
He's had his injury problems, a calf injury principally, if memory serves, at the early part of the season, Kevin O'Byrne. Just his 4th start of the campaign, and his first since Ulster before Christmas. Arno Bota is receiving some running repairs as well.
I don't think I've ever seen triceps quite like that from a rugby player. Mother of God, look at those.
Did you ever see me play? I had triceps.
I'm standing beside you. I
used to wear
now.
long sleeves though. That's why you probably couldn't see mine.
And you put tissues in the sleeves. The old tricks.
It'll take time.
He's done well though. Like he does very, like if he, Munster are playing exceptionally well when they get him running early enough onto the gain line, but not necessarily a 1 out. If they can take him off Blindell. That was a nice line, wasn't it?
Somewhere potentially in the middle of all that, Arno Pota has picked up.
Just looks as if his knee twisted a little bit, didn't it? Maybe got stuck in the 4G turf.
Which seems to be what happened to Dan Levy. That was horrific injury. And it is a concern, like what's happening, again, the evolution of the jackal coming in, the breakdown. I think the referees can give more reward to the jackler, but what is happening is he's to survive some serious washouts.
You are in such a vulnerable position, you know, when you get over the ball, and when you see something like as serious as what happened to Dan Levy, you know, it does pose some questions. Just hope it's not as bad as what we're hearing, and he'll be back sooner rather than later.
Well, it's a work in progress, the line-out, but they were thinking on their feet there. Cardiff ball, and that was good from Farrell. He just shut down the space. That was a promising Cardiff attack building. It has gone forward off Chris Farrell hand in the middle of all that, so knock-on advantage, no way through on that occasion for Anscombe. Here's Williams, Morgan.
Advantage over.
Healy and Conway between them back there. Very tight to the tram lines over on that far side. Good positioning from Morgan now. Can he get those feet working and find a little bit of space? Chink of light in the Munster armoury. Peter O'Mahony was appealing to the referee. He was in a position to effect a turnover. Nothing doing. Couldn't quite get his hands on it. Through goes Billy Holland. Williams did well. That was a little bit sloppy from Cardiff, and good pressure from Munster. Principally from Billy Holland, back in the team for Tadhg Byrne tonight. Remember, good hands picked up by Seb Davies. Munster player has stayed down over on that far side as Anscombe chips one through here for Lane.
It looks like Conor Murray.
First one by blue.
Conor Murray is receiving attention,
red.
I think, to his shoulder. Is
no
it? No
option, just a scrum. Your initial position is not positive. I thought you were with your elbows on the ground.
We saw Jared Evans affect that crossfield kick for Owen Lane. He's very dangerous in those situations.
But the previous line-out, Cardiff had a nice clever ball to the front of the line-out. But that's exactly what Munster have achieved, everything they want to do. If you have an opposition team that are resorting to that type of line-out tactic, you know that their line-out is malfunctioning. That's a huge emotional lift for Munster. They're going to half-time, and they say, like, it was a lovely, clever play from Cardiff.
Yeah,
but it completely nullifies all the timing of a proper launch. You need the ball towards the tail off the top, maybe, if you want to get your midfield in.
HIA, okay.
Taking a blow there, isn't he? Conor Murray did that.
Albie Mathewson is going to come in.
Yeah, he's just caught the back of Thomas Williams' head, isn't he, from ricocheted off Conway.
What a nice replacement to...
do you know what, I was just going to say exactly the same thing. You know, that's quality to come off the bench. You know, Albie Mathewson, bags of experience.
Okay.
Real quality player.
Make sure you don't do anything.
And that's what we've got in Manchester Avenue, the squad they've got. You look at their Stander, Tadhg Byrne, Stephen Archer. Some real quality on our bench and experience as well, which counts for so much.
But that's why I think that the Saracens game a couple of seasons ago might have filled them with a little bit of dread. But I think this Munster side have all the assets.
Crouch!
Well, let's see what Bota does again here.
Set!
Yeah, he's lining up.
Stay bound, eh?
Yeah, he's not bound at all, is he? The referee's pinging. The referee was telling him to stay bound.
But see, it's impossible. If you're the defending open side, you got to be able to see he's detaching his hands, which triggers your defence of him. But if you can't see him detaching his hands, you've no idea where the ball is. You actually can't even see him coming around the corner. It's impossible.
Small little things like for Thomas Williams, you know, for his career to kick on, is just to bring that to the attention of the referee. You can see that as an open side, you're not really aware of that.
As an open side, if you're defending it, you're going to alert the referee because you know you'll be made look like a fool because you've no chance.
But Thomas Williams is there on top. He needs to really be vocal about that to try and win a penalty.
Be interesting to see. I thought he was gesticulating, just pointing at Arnaud Botha to the referee. The referee did seem to be aware of what was happening. Meantime, that was a very good first box kick by Mathewson, but here now in open country. Oh, that's brilliant! What a step in, absolutely no room over on the far side. Alan Summerhill has hit back in devastating fashion here for the Cardiff Blues. That is a winger, bang in form. He got two weeks ago against the Scarlets, and he has managed to wriggle free and find a slither of pitch on that far side. Brilliant finish.
Yes. Crucial score from the Blues, and again the Munster defence can't cope with the decoys and the options. It was Ollie Robinson that time, run a great decoy line, ball just put behind to get to the outside. 2-on-1 with Matthew Morgan, and as you say, Connor, that man Aled Summerhill is just on fire at the minute. Another try. I think it might just be no, they were just checking for forward pass, but it's a good try. But it's decoys, and every time they go wide and run decoy runners, they're causing Munster all sorts of problems.
I think it was Ollie Robinson, the open side, ran a great line, just checked Chris Farrell for a moment and just locked him in so he couldn't slide across and push the defenders out. Great play from Cardiff.
20 tries in 50 appearances in Cardiff Blues colours for Aled Summerhill. Has Hanska managed to measure that? He has indeed. Well, he drilled it low, and all of a sudden we're back to a 3-point game. 4 tries, 2 apiece. We're right on half-time. What a time that is to score.
Yeah, absolutely crucial time, wasn't it? Because Munster has dominated really most of the first half. You know, if they'd gone in 17-7, psychologically that would have been very difficult for the Blues, but to get that just before half-time gives them big hope in this second half. Just shows how clinical they can be, the Blues.
Well, as I said, he got a couple of tries in that game against the Scarlets when Cardiff went 38-0 up by half-time. They got the bonus point try in the bag by the half-hour mark. They also got a hat-trick against Glasgow back in February. It's his 10th try of the season, his 20th, as I said, in all competitions in just 50 appearances.
Really interesting tackle. I thought they might have just kicked it off the field then and get into half-time.
Well, here's Botha. Farrell on the wide outside. Klutze is there.
No hands, rock, second man.
Mathewson goes back inside to find John Ryan. That's a great carry from the Munster tight head. Mathewson again. Now Conway. And Conway will tidy that up. Came back off the shins of a Cardiff player, and Munster maybe not done quite yet in this half. They lead by 3. Clock is in the red. Kilcoyne. Oh, Kilcoyne's wriggled free. Mathewson to Blendell. Farrell, who got the second of, or the first rather, of Munster's 2 tries so far in the half.
Use it.
Here's the other try scorer, John Klein. Blendell spotted half a gap. Dacey did well just to get hands on him, but they're up to the 22 again. Holland waits, so too does Scannell. Botha again, it's another big impact tackle. I think it was Ray Lilo.
Release now.
Seb Davies has been all action in this half for the Blues again. Mathewson, Sweetenham.
Who's back?
It's patience and purposeful so far from Munster.
Ball was out.
Cardiff have pinched that. I thought that might have gone off the park, having got themselves right back in it and to within 3, but still, we're enjoying this half. Long may it continue. And Haley says, OK, that's enough. And it will be a very, very interesting half-time team chat in the 2 dressing rooms, because it looked as though Munster would go in with a 10-point advantage. They owned the game, having gone behind early to that brilliant finish from Thomas Williams, but another brilliant finish from Aled Summerhill on the stroke of half-time. 4 tries, 2 apiece. Munster 17, the Cardiff Blues 14 in Cork.
Okay.
2019 Guinness Pro 14 final will be held in Celtic Park, Glasgow on Saturday, 25th of May. Don't miss out on a great weekend in Glasgow. Back your team now.
Yeah.
Visit pro14rugby.org.
All right, yeah, gotcha. Okay, obviously off a maul. Sucks in an awful lot of Munster forwards. But if you look... Yeah. Kirsten Dunst takes out 4 passes.
Twitter and YouTube accounts to gain exclusive content, news and competitions throughout the season. Guinness Pro 14 want to thank title sponsor Guinness.
Half-time here in Cork, and tighter than Munster will have wanted. A brilliant early try by Thomas Williams, the perfect start for Cardiff, but Munster fought back with 2 of their own from Chris Farrell and Jean Klein. Then a late try by Alan Somerville has the score. Munster 17, Cardiff 14. Okay, Donncha, not maybe the start that Johan van Graan will have wanted. Let's talk about that first try. I mean, Cardiff got off to the perfect start, didn't they?
First blood to Cardiff, really. Comes off a maul here, Tommy. Normally you see these pushed forwards, but you just see Kirsten Dunst here taking a bit of width. And with this pass, they beat 4 Munster defenders. They've threats all over the place, and Halaholo and Lilo, they're brilliant at running those type of lines.
Absolutely. I mean, you could see Chris Farrell there has got left a little bit in no man's land, unfortunately, on a 4-on-2 almost.
And it's the last thing you want, Tommy, a weak inside shoulder here. I think we just highlight Chris left with an awful lot of work on his inside shoulder because probably maybe Rory comes in. But what we need here is Mike Haley to be communicating and chatting to Conor Murray that he's got the pass. But
absolutely, in the backfield, really, you need your full back and your scrum have to be talking all the time. They had a 2-on-2 there. It looked like they just weren't having much chat between the two of them.
Yeah, and the thing is, look, let's not take away, it's a brilliant finish by Thomas Williams here. He does really well to get it. And look, that's what Cardiff have been doing to teams all along. Those 2 centres are lethal.
Yeah, absolutely. Super finish by Cardiff. A perfect start for them, but Munster got themselves back into it again through Chris Farrell, and it really started from a Cardiff 5-metre scrum.
Yeah, and look, in the big moments you need the big players, and it's Peter O'Mahony here. I think, we might question his bind at the scrum time, but here, to not only harass and make the tackle, but to make a crucial turnover. And Dave Kilcoyne probably could have done an awful lot better at that time. There was 2 guys outside him to put him away, but
super turnover there. I mean, Pete's been doing that all season, really, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been great. And then we see it gets into a bit of a pick and jam game here, and then look, Chris Farrell at that range does really well to get over. Hard man to stop, and great to see him powering his way over there.
A 2-man tackle on him as well. It shows the power that he has, and it shows he's a great distributor of the ball, but he can also he can crash it up too.
Absolutely. You throw him in the row, he can, when it comes into that pick and jam kind of game, you certainly, as a forward, mind seeing him.
Speaking about another second row, Jean Klein doesn't get over for many tries, but a good try from him.
Yeah, look, a bit of a line-up move for Munster to drop it down the front. get into, again, hit John Ryan here, and who does a great job to keep his legs alive. Peter O'Mahony assisting him on it again, and you know, look, they have the penalty advantage at that time, Tommy, and it's just have the patience to keep doing what they're doing and doing it well.
Do you think, is he calling this here? Are they looking for it out the back, or where is this Munster's forward taking over?
Well, look, you'd like to have something out the back, but there actually isn't. And to be fair to Klein, he does really well to get that score. He wins the shoulder battle to get low to the line and get over it.
Yeah, okay. Well, Cardiff really fought back into the game again. Alan Somerville came up with their final try. I mean, an incredible off-set piece again. Munster will be really disappointed from a defensive point of view.
And the point you're making there is you practice set piece all week long in your defence, so you don't like to get bust off kind of first, maybe second phase. But Somerville does an incredible job here, and what a finish, just blinding pace. And look, Tyler Blendell will be disappointed with that last-ditch tackle. There's areas of the kind of probably the defence that as a whole could work better.
Cardiff are showing that they can be dangerous when they do get that line out right, and really their line out's been a trouble for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, no one underestimates Cardiff at all. You look at their track record, you look what they did to Munster over in Cardiff, and even last year when winning the Challenge Cup. This is a quality team, and look, it's a nail-biting first half, and hopefully much more in the second.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a great first half. Well, Munster have the upper hand in this game so far. Johan van Gaal will be hoping for more from his men, with a strong bench still to come on. Second half is coming up after this short break. Who's the last try by?
Can we clip Marty Moore there?
Okay. So in the other match this evening, Ulster are playing against.
Conor Murray assessing the options, and they go to their big ball carriers, and now they work.
In the other match this evening, Ulster are in Glasgow and they're currently leading in that one. Here is a try from Adam Hastings, and this will have a big impact on Munster if Munster were not to get the win here in Irish Independent Park tonight. So at half-time, it's Glasgow leading 20 points to 7. An early try by Rob Herring and 3 tries by Glasgow through Fraser Brown, Adam Hastings and Tommy Seymour. It's all very tight at the top, and tonight's fixtures will have a big impact on tomorrow's games. Connacht are in Parma to take on Zebra from 5 o'clock on Air Sport 1. And straight after, from the RDS, it's first against third in Conference B. Benetton take on Leinster. That's tomorrow from 7:30. Now let's have a look back at the highlights from the first half here in Cork.
Conor Murray assessing the options, and they go to their big ball carriers, and now they work it wide to Farrell. Can he get it down? Munster have a try, 17 minutes in.
Not quite the first half that Munster will have wanted, Donncha, but they have a strong bench still to come on.
Yeah, absolutely. I disagree, Tommy. I think Munster are looking for competitive games. They want to hit their straps, of course. You want to get results, but they don't. You know, they've had some disappointing games where they haven't got
the most competitive one here in Cork so far.
Absolutely, it's been great, and look, hopefully a bit more of it. But your point is right. There's plenty of firepower on the bench to come on. We saw Conor Murray going off, and I think you want to protect certain players as well.
And Keith Earls as well, obviously ruled out early on.
Absolutely, but I think there's a kind of management of someone like Peter O'Mahony as well. You know, a guy like that as well. You know, there's a few big weeks coming up as well, and you want to look out for him.
But what's important, is it important that Munster get the win? Because obviously you can see there that Glasgow look like they're going to get the win up in Scotland.
You're 100% right, and it matters. Every point matters. So like you'd even hear around the place that Glasgow have 3 tries. They're looking like maybe getting a bonus point win as well. And look, that's what's great about the league this year. It's every match kind of has a knock-on effect to other games. So yeah, a little bit tough, but Munster, look, they won't worry about anything like that. If they win tonight, they know they can secure Europe for next year, which is a big scalp.
Absolutely. Okay, we can see them coming back out onto the pitch now. We'll head up to our commentary team of Martin Liam and Conor Morris.
So we're all set to go for what promises to be an intriguing second half. So much at stake for both these teams tonight, so many permutations over the course of the next 3 rounds of games. Munster know tonight if they can remain in this winning position, they will secure a place in the playoff stages. They know if they get a bonus point win with 2 more tries, they can look forward to a home advantage in either a quarter-final or a semi-final. Cardiff, well, you wonder what the next 40 minutes holds for them in the context of their season. John Mulvihill said all week, destiny is in our own hands. If we win our 3 remaining games, we are through to the playoffs. 2 may be enough. A bonus point or 2 bonus points tonight may be enough if they can win their final 2 games. Who knows? Conor Murray is back with us, having passed a HIA after that knock to the head and the nasty bump above his eye. And it's Munster who resume with a 3-point advantage, 17 points to 14, 2 tries apiece. Let's hope the second half is every bit as captivating as the first.
Well, certainly, Conor, if Cardiff can get their first phase off their line-out working, that midfield that they have can tear up Munster. They've shown, with precious few opportunities, they've shown how they can bamboozle the Munster midfield defence. But what's keeping Cardiff from that is Munster's line-out defence has been superb.
And Cardiff fans, no doubt, delighted to see Willis Halahollo commit his long-term future to the region. Former Super Rugby winner, of course, before he arrived at the Blues in 2016.
It's much simpler drill from the Cardiff Blues. No movement, just an early throw. It's just much easier, much more difficult to defend from a Munster point of view.
Now here's Williams. He's almost away there. Bolter.
Not held.
It takes 2 bites of the cherry to bring the lively scrum half to the floor now. What can they manufacture here? Munster up quickly off that defensive set now. Short little pop pass, that's a good line, and we're starting with real intent here, the Cardiff Blues. Morgan, 2 to his left hand side, gets it away to Turnbull. Taken the ground by Conor Murray. There's a Munster player over at O'Mahony, had 1 hand on it just for a fraction of a second or 2. Away goes Dylan Lewis.
Away, tackler.
Full throttle from both teams right from the whistle, as it was from the first whistle in the first half. Morgan hits the line. Options here for Cardiff potentially. Summerhill full of confidence. You can see it. He just wants to get involved and take people on.
Ball was out, ball was out.
Ball was out, Clute's okay.
Not held.
Cardiff making ground into the 22. Williams assessing the options. Anscombe 2 into midfield they go. Little dink through from Halahollo. And here's Healy.
Rock.
Yes, unusual. You don't normally see Lilo Halahola put the ball, and just losing a little bit of patience here. I thought they had Munster on the rack and just giving them the ball back, but that looks like a great steal again. It's that man Dylan Lewis. Mentioned him earlier in the first half. For a big man, he's so good over the ball and so difficult to move, and that's a big penalty for the Blues.
It certainly is.
First man in and survive the clean out.
That's it, first man in survived the clean out, and I think that's the way we need to change the interpretation of the breakdown. It shouldn't be about surviving the clear out, because that could be quite dangerous in terms of injuries, but he did excellently, and he won the battle of the shoulders.
Post.
I think Donica mentioned the battle of the shoulders at half time, and that was a clear example of it. Cardiff are doing what Munster did in the first half. They're conscious of the wind and they're carrying it much more. They're less ambitious in many ways, which is the correct way, and they're putting pressure now on Munster.
And look who it is trying to affect the clear out. It's John Ryan and Chris Klute. I mean, survived the clear out and won the penalty, and that situation is huge from Lewis.
Yeah, it's a perfect start from the Blues the second half. You know, win a penalty earlier on, but then go 40-50 metres, some really good attacking play, going short and wide, just keeping hold of the ball and come away with a penalty. Hopefully, from a Blues point of view, Gareth Anscombe will slot.
Didn't seem to just connect with that as he would have liked. It's his first kick, of course, down into those posts where the breeze is buffeting around, and he's missed it.
Number 8.
Slightly ironic cheers.
I'm not going to say anything from now on before he takes a kick, but bit of an impact sub coming on.
Yeah, CJ Stander on a very, very strong Munster bench, which we've spoken about over the course of the 80 minutes. Will that have a big impact?
Do you think that's tactical or injury, Lewis?
I can't imagine his tactical. I think it must be injury.
Yeah.
He got a couple of twinges just before half time, and maybe tried to run it out.
So it remains 17 points to 14. Anscombe leaves 3 on the post. He left nothing on the post at the Principality Stadium against Ireland in the Grand Slam. The Ireland under-20 Grand Slam team were out on the turf at Irish Independent Park at half-time.
Lost. No, don't go in there. Don't go in.
Blandal, there's no room in there whatsoever. Cardiff sees the opportunity in good field position here. Williams and Lewis. He's having a barnstorming game.
Not held.
Not held by either of the two Munster halfbacks. Williams will go again, and he gets them moving through. Lewis Hughes.
Lost now, lost. Thank you. No.
Anscombe waits. Now, is there a way through? Good again from the scrum half. And here they go with Reskill and Anscombe now, and he on the inside of Klein. Scannell brings him to groin, but that's good play from the Cardiff fly half. He's made 20 metres there. There's a high tackle, I think.
High tackle.
Penalty, and Williams looks to go. Oh, that's absolutely brilliant from Williams. And Cardiff get in for the try. Ray Lilo with a score. Thomas Williams, hats off to him once again.
Thomas Williams is just tearing up this second half. He made a break.
It was fine. It was for high
from the very first line out of the half. This time, you know, he's brave. He taps and goes. It's one of those with the coach. He's probably holding his head in his hands, thinking take the 3, but no. Brilliant play from the young scrum half.
But it's always an interesting sign of culture when a scrum half does that, but is supported so well. So his teammates expect it of him.
Exactly.
And they're running the line off him. So he's the difference so far. Even before he did that, he has lit Cardiff's energy.
This game has turned on its head, isn't it? Just seemed to be all Munster, had all the momentum. 38 minutes into this game and it's completely turned. Brilliant from the Cardiff Blues.
Well, as we said pre-game, they have an enviable record here in Cork. They've won on 4 occasions. No side has ever, with the exception of Cardiff, won more than twice here. They seem to thrive in this environment. Perfect angle from which to see Gareth Anscombe slot the conversion. 21 points to 17, 47 minutes on the watch, and this is turning into an epic battle.
it's a great game, isn't it? It really is. To and fro-in. Both teams want to attack. They want that bonus point. Both teams want the 4 tries. They've really turned this game on its head, Cardiff Blues.
Niall Scannell comes in, so Munster are calling on that vastly experienced bench of theirs. Great take under the high ball from Rory Thornton.
Use it!
The rain is coming down now. Breeze is swirling around. Anyone's game, remember, just 1 point between these two sides. The last time Cardiff were in Cork, the last time Munster lost in Cork.
Quicker. On the wrong side.
19 unbeaten at home, 12 straight wins for Munster at Thomond Park and Irish Independent Park. They haven't lost since Leinster were in Limerick on St. Stephen's Day 2017.
Just going to say it was crucial for the Cardiff Blues to exit that well, and it was a great take from Rory Thornton, but then it's a soft penalty. You know, the Munster are not going anywhere. You've got them boxed in. The referee has penalised Alex Summerhill for not rolling away quick enough, and it gives Munster an immediate attacking opportunity after the Blues have scored.
The first delivery now for Scannell.
Advantage playing in the air.
We talk about discipline and penalties in key areas of the pitch, and there's a penalty advantage coming for Munster here. They're making decent progress. Away goes Conor Murray. Billy Holland is over it. CJ Stander now for Munster. Listen to the noise inside Irish Independent Park. This is all hands to the pump now. Both sides really put to the pin of their collar, testing defence and attack time and again. Klein is the decoy on this occasion. And that's well read. Cardiff set up once again. Can they repel the latest Munster threat? They're changing the point of the attack here with Blendall. Back on the inside to Farrell. Seb Davies again with the tackle. Murray now goes. CJ Stander! And the heavy artillery is rolled off the bench, and Munster are back in front. Bulldozing try from CJ Stander, and what a game this is.
We were talking before the game, what's the advantage of having someone like Tyler Blindell on the pitch? Quality play. That was a sensational lineup to start from Scannell. His first kind of intervention that he came at the pin of the top of the jump. But having Blindell switching the point of attack, not willy-nilly, he actually spotted space. And he initially wanted to get round the corner to put Farrell in, but then he kept going, plodding through. Like, no one's going to stop him there. You'd have to question a tad bit Cardiff's defence.
I just think it's fresh legs from CJ Stander. He got around the corner quicker than the Cardiff Blues forwards that time. But again, you question why the Cardiff Blues were in that position. It was 2 soft penalties, put them down there after, you know, a brilliant score from Lilo to get themselves in front. Just gives Munster an easy out, and a side this good and this lethal are going to take their chances.
It's coming back around. He's almost just faded that in left to right. So off the kicking D from Tyler Blendall. Munster lead Cardiff Blues 24 points to 21.
Well, the way this is going, the winner is most likely going to have a bonus point. He's going to have to score a 4th try most likely to win this game. What a wonderful match. This rugby season just doesn't stop giving.
Well, we said both sides coming into this in rude health. Cardiff off the back of that annihilation of the Scarlets, 41 points to 17 rather, in free scoring form, and Munster just 1 defeat in their last 9 matches.
Now it was in. Use it!
6 tries, 51 minutes on the watch. And so many little fascinating subplots out there. The 2 number 9s, Conor Murray and Thomas Williams, and the 2 10s indeed, and every ball has been ferociously contested. Which way is this coming back? It's on the Blues side. And there's that man Williams again, and they're alive to his threat. He wasn't held though by Kilcoyne or Klein. Seb Davis. Dylan Lewis. what can Anscombe manufacture here? Again, it's boot to ball in that midfield situation for the Cardiff Blues. Which way will this go? And into touch over on the far side.
Yep. Initially from the high ball, I think Conway initially wins the high ball, but Matthew Morgan does brilliantly to strip it back and get it back on the Blues side.
And number 2, Cardiff as well.
An interesting kick, I think it was Haller, but it worked out really well to pin Munster back into that corner.
Ethan Lewis in for Christian Dacey, and Stephen Archer is with us. So Scannell then. O'Mahony, he just gets up so quickly in those situations and back to ground. Very economical in his approach. Murray all the way down to Lane, who backtrack at pace. Here's Morgan now, he's dangerous in these situations, and he picks the pass again now. Morgan, support on the outside. Cardiff up to the Munster 22. What can they manufacture here? First involvement for Ethan Lewis, the replacement hooker off the bench. The rain continues to team down here in Cork now. Very tricky conditions, but you wouldn't guess it by the skill level out there.
Now he slipped.
Williams.
Rockford,
Lewis again. And here they go with Reskill. Anscombe.
Away tackle.
Double tackle on the Cardiff fly half.
The ball is available.
Vocal support for the home team. Their side needed all hands to the pump here. A little bit more patience about this attack, and then it's boot the ball from a Cardiff point of view, and it's fly kicked downfield by Tyler Blendall. Just running out of options a little bit.
Yeah, but just looking at how Munster exited from that great line-out win, Conor Murray didn't go for a box, he kicked it long, and Munster, for the first time in a long time, only filled the field with 3 defenders, and Morgan at fullback, who's probably one of the smallest players in the pitch, spotted the opportunity, interacted with his players, and all of a sudden Munster are back under pressure again. A poor chasing line in many ways.
Yeah, you're asking for trouble if you get Matthew Morgan in open space with just 1-2 defenders to beat. You know, he's going to beat the first man inevitably. It's good play from.
Oh, here we see it. It was actually
Summerhill did really well here, but he stayed alive. Matthew Morgan after the pass, he stays alive, gets on the outside. So lethal in those open spaces.
Fine.
Not a bad replacement to come on for Klein. Yeah. A very different rugby player. Very, very different.
Yeah, you have to be away in the contact area on there with Tyburn about, but this game is on a knife edge, just anybody's.
And they're being innovative at line-out time, trying to think their way around this Munster defensive line-out situation.
Release now, Red.
Brad Tyre, by the way, has come into that Cardiff Blues front row. That's a good tackle by Cloete just to stop any real momentum that Ray Lilo could get up. Morgan. A good challenge from Farrell. Williams to Lewis, and he's met with a very solid challenge from the vastly experienced Billy Holland. Flat to the line from Anscombe. Nothing wrong with that, says Marius Maitreya. Williams goes again. Morgan now at first receiver again.
Tackle now, no hand.
Tackle that time by Archer. Tyburn trying to turn it over. He was told to take his hands away, and he heeded the calls of Marius Maitreya. Now Cloete, has he gone one better?
Hey, quiet. Come on.
Lilo again. Driven backwards.
Easy, 20.
Like the red wall is staying very strong. They're filling the field. There's no space at all. All the twinkle toes of Cardiff can't get through.
Here we go with the ball.
Nearly got away again, Thomas Williams. We've got to be very careful of the Cardiff Blues, just playing in that sort of grey area, going backwards.
We saw Munster's defence so much to the fore last week against Edinburgh's relentless attack.
Use it.
With one Munster player in the backfield, the entire rest of them spread out. They're happy that Cardiff are playing like this.
Use it.
Yeah, right option. Thomas Williams is going to go for the box kick.
Yeah.
He hasn't managed to get any purchase on it. It's almost dropping.
It's the right option with the wrong execution, just straight up in the air.
It's a little harsh though, that interpretation, because like you're a loose side forward, you're expecting the ball to, and it just goes up and comes straight back down on top of you.
Hits you on the back.
It's a little harsh.
That's really good defence from Munster there, wasn't it? Once or twice you thought the Blues were just going to get through, but really organised, really physical from Munster.
And just watching Conor Murray as well, he does the same with Ireland. He defends way out on the fringes, and this occasion though he didn't go all the way to the edge. He's actually almost man marking the Cardiff midfield. He's providing defensive support to whoever has to make that hit.
Munster back into that Cardiff 22 in good field position.
Everybody was just in front of you.
And a perfect platform from which to set up the potential of a bonus point try here. 3 already in the bag. Tadhg-Beirne is another option, and it's to Tadhg-Beirne they go at the front.
Yeah, Seb Davis has done really well to get on that early and just disrupt it and slow it down.
It's a tackle, rock.
It's there at the feet of Conor Murray, and now it's in the hands of CJ Stander. Munster line up again with O'Mahony this time. Quicker ball for Murray, lots of options now. Blendal, that was loose, and it's been knocked forward.
It was a lovely play though, that Conor Murray kind of carried the ball in 2 hands and he's out half. Blendal took it very, very flat, giving lots of options. It was just a timing issue really. A smarter timing, and I think
Number 9
Munster would have broken through.
Not 9 and 10 and 12, sorry. 9 and 12 Blues sub, please.
Just breaks down off Chris Farrell here.
Yeah, they'd actually done the job on the inside to fix the Cardiff Blues defenders on the inside, but just didn't execute the play on the outside.
2 further changes on the Cardiff Blues side.
The crucial stop, I think, there from the Cardiff Blues, you know, was a really, Munster would have backed themselves to get a good driving maul going there, get it on the front foot, but it was really well defended by Seb Davis just to stop the maul initially, and it's very difficult then once that ball is slowed down to create attack off that.
Well, Lloyd Williams is in for Thomas Williams. Excellent game he's had, the Cardiff scrum half, and Harry Millard is in as well. Willis Halaholo is the player withdrawn.
Yeah, he's had a brilliant game, I think, Thomas Williams, isn't he? Real catalyst in the second half in particular. Lloyd Williams has got bags of experience. Interesting, they've gone early, taking Halaholo off, whether he's carrying an injury or one eye on a big game against Connacht next week.
He's certainly carrying his left leg anyway, looking at him.
Stay back.
Yeah, that'll be a cracking match though next week. The big game tomorrow, Zebre away. Zebre, it doesn't look like it on the table, but they're a phenomenal side. They're brilliant ball carrying and offloading. They'll ask questions of Connacht. It's not a given.
Use it!
So here is Lloyd Williams. What can Cardiff manufacture here from deep inside their own 22? They copped up the ball here now. Farrell gets it away from the contact area. Tadhg-Beirne forward to his left hand side, screaming for the ball through the hands from Scannell to Blendal. On they go to O'Mahony and sweeten them now. Munster up to 6-7 metres shy of that Cardiff Blues line. CJ Stander. There's another Munster penalty coming here, and it's these little indiscretions that are making it difficult for Cardiff. Taken on by Archer. Farrell over it. It's there for Murray. They're queuing up here. Murray has a little look on his own, doesn't quite get there. Billy Holland goes in, gets it away to Stander.
Release, no heads, roll.
There's enough bodies there in blue for the moment, but can Kilcoyne ground the ball?
It's outside.
He's right on the try line, or very, very close to it. There may be a hand underneath it. Marius Maitre is in a good position. I thought he was very close to the line. Conor Murray thinks that this warrants a TMO.
Question is going to be key here, I think.
No, it wasn't. Which one? Sorry.
This one here.
No, it was an advantage for this one.
Yeah, you know, but
It was an advantage for offside.
why didn't the ball come back here?
No, it was fine. The ball came out. It was a clear ball after that. Yeah.
want
Well,
to play back.
okay, thank you. Stefano?
So we'll have a look at this.
Yes, Marius.
Any reason why I cannot award a try? The ball was on the line.
It's a crucial
But I
question.
just want to make sure if number 9 was entitled to play that ball.
If you were to read body language,
If he
Kilcoyne
wasn't
getting off
part
the
of the
deck.
ruck, okay?
Okay. Any reason not to award the try?
Otherwise, we're
Check.
playing advantage for offside.
Okay.
Looks as if he was initially held up there, doesn't it, Kilcoyne?
It's not that one.
He's questioning whether Conor Murray's actually placed this ball.
No. Hey.
No, it doesn't look like it. He's entitled to place the ball after the tackle. But when the placement went down, it looked like... When he initially placed it anyway, it was definitely still on the field of
No, può
play.
giocare la palla lì, Stefano?
No, non può giocare la palla lì, Marius. La palla è alta.
No, cosa vuol dire la palla è alta?
How's your Italian?
E nella rack può giocarla e a posizionarla
Not
in
that
mezzo
good,
alla
actually.
rack?
No, perché c'è il giocatore davanti. Per me la decisione è corretta e la palla alta.
No, ma la palla era fuori. Stefano? Wait,
Sì.
please. Può giocare quella palla in mezzo o non c'era niente formato?
Quella che si forma è chiaramente una rack.
Sì.
Da qui la palla non è più visibile e io non posso aiutarti da questo punto di vista, però quella è chiaramente una rack.
Ok.
Can you translate that for us, Conor?
No, it's just all adding to the tension, isn't it, really?
Questa è da dietro, però l'unico angolo da cui possiamo vedere il pallone è quello frontale.
Kilcoyne seemed to be short or held up initially,
Stefano, that's
didn't
the
he?
best angles you have?
Yes, that is the only angle we have
So
to show the ball.
is there any clear reason why I cannot award this try?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I think he's asked the wrong question,
No
personally. I
reason
think it should have been
to
try
not
yes or
award
no.
the try.
Okay, so I may award the try. I may award the try.
I think that's a very, very interesting outcome.
You can see Ollie Robinson and Gareth Anscombe there.
It was short of the
Like, if you
line.
think of Kilcoyne, when he was actually getting up off the pitch, there was no celebration at all.
He scored on the
See,
line.
I think he's actually given
No,
Conor Murray the
it
try
wasn't
for
held
just
up
pushing
on
the ball onto the
No,
line.
it wasn't held up on the line, was short, and then the ball came back, and then grounded on the line.
Okay, so he's saying it wasn't held up, it was short. Conor Murray's allowed to play it, and he placed it.
All we can say, he's closer than anyone, isn't he? And we obviously haven't got a TV angle there, but I think if he was that confident he scored, just give the try straight away.
Well, having asked the question initially, any reason why I can't award it, he stuck by his guns.
Yeah. So he obviously believes that Conor Murray here, I think, comes in and just pushes the ball onto the line. It's a real unusual try.
We've seen Conor Murray in previous instances very, very astute around that kind of area, and it's worked out in Munster in Conor Murray's favour on this occasion as well. And with the final quarter of the game still to go, it's now a 10-point advantage again, as it was during the first half.
Tell you what, Matthew Morgan has been absolutely superb under the high
He
ball,
has,
isn't
yeah.
he? You know, for a small guy.
He's very little right to get up there and win that, and very brave in so doing as well. Well, they've fallen behind in the game, Cardiff Blues, and they've come back. Can they do it again? It's the bonus point in the bag for Munster. If it stays like this and they win with a try, bonus point, remember, they will be not only through to the knockout phase, but they will be assured of playing at home at Thomond Park in the quarter-final or a semi-final potentially.
Rock.
And you get the feeling there's quite a bit still left in this.
That's a great read from Sweetman. Spotted it straight away once Anscombe opened his shoulders.
And he's got away. No way through though for Ormani. And we saw it a couple of weeks ago in the game against the Kings at Thomond Park in Limerick. It's Munster's bench very, very strong at this level.
Rock.
Or against Ebra rather.
No.
Conor Murray, quick ball to Blendal. Scannell. He's been good tonight with ball in hand. Tag Byrne now.
Not held.
Byrne still going. And still he wasn't held. Mike Healy almost getting beyond Rory Thornton, and the little ding through by Farrell, and that sensible play puts Munster where they want to be.
It's amazing how Tadhg Beirne has found himself in Munster. As soon as he shouted, everybody, including Conor Murray, knew, get the ball to me. And it was a great read from Beirne, but it just shows you that as the season develops and all these little unit skills are developing, Murray had the trust in Tadhg Beirne, so just fired him. I can just trust that he's picked a really good line. It was a good line and gave him great front foot ball.
And a great reception for Conor Murray as he's withdrawn here on 63 minutes. Albie Mathieson is back in. Time was off, says Marius Moutrère. There's a player down just in front of the post there. Jeremy Loughman, meantime, is going to come in.
Very direct play, wasn't it, for Munster? You know, good carries, hard carries, nothing over fancy, just looking after the ball, being efficient in that contact area and just pinning the Blues down in their 22. They've got a 10-point lead.
There's Dave Kilcoyne. I think he's had a crack. He's had a crack in mid-season anyway. He's just been electric. Even as Ireland struggled at times throughout the season, his ball carrying is just so much more dynamic. He forces a weak shoulder from the defender. He gets yards every single time. He had a cracking game tonight.
Master, please.
He's got his first start in the Six Nations against Italy in Rome.
Expect all sorts of pressure from Munster. Good drill from the Blues.
Good shape from Thornton. Clean and well communicated as it had to be in that.
Use it!
And they're under increasing pressure here now. Lloyd Williams can't quite get his hands on it. And Munster, you sense now with this 10-point advantage, the bit between their teeth just potentially starting to turn the screw. They've got the bonus point in the bag already, and they're looking to drive home their advantage here in the driving rain now.
It's that man, isn't it, again? Tadhg Beirne looked as if they'd done well initially, the Blues, but got to get the ball away quick. It's a great low position. And credit Cloyter as well, who reacts. Good power, just gets the ball. Impossible for Lloyd Williams. That's great work from the Munster pack to win the turnover.
And he's got that infectious appetite for the contact and the energy around the breakdown in situations like that. Insatiable.
Time on. Let's go, please.
But that's hardly even logged as a statistic after the game, but the importance of it is just crucial.
You know, you see so many players counter-rucking and nothing comes of those rucks, and you may be wasting a bit of energy, wasting a bullet, but when they do come off like that, it's invaluable to your team. Real great effort.
Crouch!
Well, a Munster score in this situation at this time in the game, 15 minutes remaining, makes it a long, long way back for Cardiff. It's a long way to the try line, but CJ Stander almost got there for his second try, having come off the bench. And look at Mathieson barking out the orders. What have they got coming here? Farrell, that's a great pass to Healy, and Conway for the corner. 5-star Munster in court. That's really, really good. And Andrew Conway gets in for his 38th try in Munster colours, and they have their 5th. Real daylight between the teams now.
We saw in the first half of both that number 8 wasn't binding. CJ Stander dropped his left hand quite early, but he gained huge ground. Like, you shouldn't be stealing that amount of ground when you're so close to the try line. But again, what's so impressive about Munster this season is at times that they shift away from the one-out carry and they go to where the space is.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's just Ollie Robinson on the open side, probably been a little bit too honest, giving weight to his prop, where, you know, you just cheat a little bit, get on the side. You know CJ Stander is going to come off the base of that scrum, and once you go forward, like Liam said, it's so difficult to stop with that momentum, and really clinical play from Munster.
Well, he doesn't miss from that sort of range. Andrew Conway, 3 tries when Munster were well beaten in the reverse fixture on match day 4 of the season at the Arms Park. He gets Munster's 5th try of the night. No, he struck that really well, Blendell. We're right behind that, and that is absolutely inch perfect.
A quality performance for the Munster out half. He seems to have all the skills. He's comfortable in heavy traffic. He controlled the game, and when Munster, certainly in the second half of the first half, when they needed to beat the ball in front of his forwards and in proper field position, he kept them doing the cup rugby stuff. A really quality performance.
And he gets a good ovation from the Munster faithful. On his withdrawal, Tyler Blendell.
No, it's a tackle, release.
Ongoing issues around Joey Carberry's hamstring in the business end of the season makes Tyler Blendell so crucial.
No.
Change in the Cardiff back row. James Botham is in. Morgan again. He had a little bit more time on his hands in that situation. Confirmation of the switch that JJ Hanrahan is now in for the last 13 minutes or so.
Advantage, not rolling away quicker, slowing down the ball.
Advantage coming the way of Cardiff here.
A question there for you. I wonder, would Cardiff be aware when Tyke Byrne came on
Number 18 need to clear the
massive difference to the breakdown and how vulnerable it becomes? Will they have consciously said, well, we got to change our style a little bit here, we got to protect, we got to resource that ball a bit more?
Obviously no, because Tyke Byrne's been playing in Wales for the last few years for the Scarlets and has been sensational. So look, don't you, but it's so difficult sometimes when a player his timing is, just times things to perfection, that contact area. So
number 3 and 4,
yeah, I don't know if you adjust your tactics accordingly. You just may have to, as a 15, whether it's not just the open side's job or the number 8's job, your backline as well have got to realise if you see that blue head guard anywhere on that contact area, you get low early and make sure he's not a threat.
Well, those two boys going off for Cardiff could give a little more to the shirt tonight. Great performances from Dylan Lewis and Seb Davis.
Stay 10.
Can Cardiff get a try bonus point? And who knows what they're after potentially. They've done the first part of the task pretty well.
One stop.
There's a decent shape about that ball, but they can't really get any forward momentum. Lloyd Williams now. Ray Lilo already got one try to his name, and he's made a decent bit of progress through the challenge there. Williams fires it out wide to the right hand side into midfield now, ripped clear by Chris Klute. Klute was on after it. Williams did really well there to rescue the situation for Cardiff, and they're still on the front foot here.
Use it.
Little over 10 minutes to go now, and they're seeking a fourth try, and they've been very good in wide situations. And this time Owen Lean just runs out of pitch. The Munster cover was there.
I think it's still Blues ball though. If you look at the touch judge, his arm is out. Does it must have come off amongst the player?
No, touch the red player before going to touch.
Yeah, it is.
And you're right, Conrad, it's a bonus point, a losing bonus point could be crucial come the end of the playoffs. So the Blues won't go away. They'll be desperate to come away with at least a losing bonus point in the last try.
And if they get a fourth and they convert it, they're back into within one score away from another losing bonus point. So still plenty to play for here in the final 10 minutes. And there's an advantage coming here. There may well be 5 points at the end of this. Marius Maitre has got his arm outstretched. It's a little bit slow coming back to Williams now.
The ball is coming.
Turnbull is waiting.
Side enter the ball.
And here he goes, Josh Turnbull. 2 Munster players get to him. Now,
forward pass.
Oop, here we go.
Klute and Ray Lilo.
Finish to Matthew Morgan, the smallest man on the field. He's straight in there. I don't know how much of a chance he's got against Clyde there, but he's in there.
But the Munster open side did everything he could just get up and walk away. He achieved exactly what he wanted to do.
Great shot. What a great hit. I'd love to see that on replay. Lilo's a difficult man to bring round, but great hit.
And here it is once again. Started with that great take from Thornton.
Shorts down there.
And it's Klute who concedes the penalty.
Control.
And this time they switch it up and go to Robinson. No, around the side potentially for Ethan Lewis.
One stop.
And they're going to have to use it here, and Williams does that. Anscombe, he just managed to get his pass away. Rory Scannell was up quickly. Lilo gets those feet moving. The offloading game of Ray Lilo, very effective. Owen Leonoy in heavy traffic, and Williams is seized upon by Niall Scannell. And look at that ferocious appetite to the contact area. Both sides giving it absolutely everything here.
Use it.
This game has had a little bit of everything. Anscombe goes in. Ollie Robinson. Cardiff player slipped in the middle of all that. As the rain is unrelenting now, so too is the cry of Munster from the home fans. They're enjoying this defensive effort from their team. 8 tries. Are we done, or can Cardiff find one? It would be a crucial one. They find a line break and back on the inside. Oh, potentially the path from Ethan Lewis to Gareth Anscombe. It didn't come. The cover was coming back from Munster. Can they move it wide quick enough? Oh, it's loose on the outside. Leon, tackled by Sweetenham. Look at Munster piling round in numbers. Cardiff get there with Lewis again and George Earl.
Use it.
A little bit of composure required now, if that's possible, in the white heat of battle here in the dying embers of the game. Oh, it's loose again. Munster have it. Albie Mathewson lifts the siege and he hacks one downfield and he's off in chase. So too is Healy. It's Turnbull back there. And they did pretty well, but they need to get the numbers there.
Release.
Oh, that was really good stuff from the Cardiff back row. He did all he could there under serious pressure. But again, the defensive effort from Munster's point of view is very, very impressive. They have been ruthless in attack and they have been stoic and belligerent in defence. Cardiff have thrown everything at them.
Yeah, just a great turnover, wasn't it? O'Mahony in the contact there. He thought Ethan Lewis was away. It was difficult. It's good cover from Archer. Just blocked the pass on the inside. Just regroup, reorganise. And eventually, here he goes. O'Mahony makes a tackle. Gets over the ball. And it's a great steal from the Munster captain.
Mathewson. Back on the inside it goes from CJ Stander to Andrew Conway, and Munster come again. Heading into the final 5 minutes. And Munster just continuing to put pressure on Cardiff. It's a long way to the Munster try line. Just look at the elements now. Driving rain. JJ Hanrahan driving Munster back into that Cardiff Blues 22.
No, you weren't taking the ball.
I tell you, Conor, the bench has made some difference, the Munster bench. Just as Cardiff are beginning to sniff out some opportunities, all the high numbers are coming in. Scannell at 16 was smashing and counter-rucking. Tyke Byrne, we've seen him in commentary already. We've mentioned how he's counter-rucking. CJ Standard advance off the bench, off the breakdown. That super influence from the Munster bench.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if you look at the game as a whole, every time Munster have got within 5 metres of the Blues line, they've bludgeoned their way over. Blues, conversely, all their tries have come maybe from long distance. When they do get 5 metres out, perhaps haven't got the power of the Munster just to keep all the composure, like you say, Conor, to eke their way over that line.
Yes. Yes.
Well, as it stands,
he seems to, like, regardless of the height of the seriousness of the match, he consistently pulls out match-winning moments. Whether it's stealing a line-out against England, whether it's a breakdown turnover, he has this knack of just arriving at the right time, at the most important time of a match, and influencing the outcome.
Well, let's see if we can see where the genesis of the injury to O'Mahony was.
Same for you guys. It's not right.
Yeah, he's such an inspiration, isn't he? to Munster, and like you say, that's what great players do. You know, they pick their moments. He's put in a big shift tonight, Peter O'Mahony.
So, what will unfold in the final 5 minutes here? It's hoisted skyward, it's dropping on halfway into the arms of Andrew Conway. Now he goes back against heavy traffic. He gets his pass away to Jeremy Lockman, who stays in field and did really well. CJ Stander, who's had a big influence off the bench, so too is Tadhg Byrne with the blue scrum cap. Niall Scannell also. Oh, that's brilliant from Hanrahan. Shearing line break. Munster surely now in for another try. They've got numbers out to the left and on the slide. They're in for their 6th try. And it was returned to action for the first time since January. And I think that may be the first time he's touched the ball. Sammy Arnold gets in for try number 6.
Yes, Marius.
1 second, I think he's going to...
Why not toward the try? Assistant confirmed it's not out, but just want to see the grounding if it's not an arm underneath.
Yeah, we'll just have a look at the grounding from Sammy Arnold. It looked good in real time.
Any reason not to hold
nothing
the try.
easy in these conditions.
Grounding. And even possible line-out.
It's a great effort, you have to say, from Owen Lane just to get his hand under the ball.
No try is given.
Another guy off the bench, isn't it? JJ Hanrahan to make the impact there. Brilliant feat from the replacement out to the half. Just off his left, through the middle, and then the gas to go on the outside.
22.
But carrying in both hands fixes the last 2 defenders for a moment.
Thank you.
And as we watch this again, the rising reception in the background is for Peter O'Mahony, who's been taken off. Well, he was the architect of the try with that break. Don't come much more difficult than this for JJ Hanrahan. Well, it looks pretty good from here. The noise from behind the sticks on that far side will tell you that is an absolute beauty of a conversion in these conditions for JJ Hanrahan. As we look at it again from Sammy Arnold, and as we were saying pre-game, this is the 4th and final match for Munster at Irish Independent Park in Cork this season. And I was talking about the fact that coming into tonight they'd scored 22 tries and almost 140 points, averaging somewhere in the region of 45 points a game. You thought for long stages tonight they wouldn't possibly get it, and look, they've still got 3 minutes left. They may well get 7 tries. 6 to the good, and all of a sudden the complexion of the scoreboard is very, very different. All that's left in this now for Cardiff is to try and get their hands on the ball and from somewhere manufacture a try to get a losing bonus point. Okay, well, what have we got? 90 seconds to go. And let's get Liam Tolan's man of the match tonight, please.
Well, Conor, was a massive night of rugby for Munster. So many highlights, and particularly with Tyler Blindell at 10. Great to see him perform so well. But right at the heart of all the tries was that man, the Munster captain, Peter O'Mahony, who came up with the big moments and the big differences. A cracking game for Peter O'Mahony, and to play almost 80 minutes. And he is the Guinness man of the match.
And he got a great reception when he came off. Tyler Blindell alongside him there was very, very good as well. 2 players who, of course, it goes without saying, will be so important to Munster as they challenge for silverware on 2 fronts. Sammy Arnold, all action as you might expect for somebody who's seen very little game time over the last few months. They've turned that over. Is there a little bit more still in the locker here from a Munster point of view. JJ Hanrahan, who's been electric heel since coming off that bench. Tagburn collects. Healy waits. Holland poised. Munster 45, the Cardiff Blues 21. We've seen 9 tries, 6-3 in Munster's favour.
Don't hold it in there. Don't hold it in there.
And all of a sudden that game in Galway for the Cardiff Blues next week becomes even more important. And the crowd agree with Liam Toland, I think that's fair to say, based on that reaction, that Peter O'Mahony is tonight's.
But I suppose the big news, there was some big performances as well. I think certainly the front row, David Kilcoyne and Kevin O'Byrne had a cracking opening 40 minutes. But the big news for me is Tyler Blyandell came through and managed the resources around him. That's a concern, who's going to be the starting out half. And I think Blyandell has a lot to prove and a lot of game time in him. And I think he's got a huge amount to offer before this season finally draws to a close.
Great to see him back playing at the top of his game. A man who's basically missed the better part of 2 seasons since coming here with a massive reputation, remember. Captain the New Zealand under-20s and was a big player for the Crusaders. And Marius Maitreya blows the final whistle in Cork, and it's Munster who come away with the maximum. They take the spoils. They are through to the playoff phase of the Pro 14 season, and they will play at home when it comes to the knockout stages. Will Cardiff Blues be in the mix? We will have to wait and see. They still have to play Connacht away next week, and then it's the Ospreys on Judgment Night in Wales on match day 21. But it's job done. It's 4 wins out of 4 in Cork this season for Munster. Tonight they scored 6 tries, and they have in the end convincingly beaten the Cardiff Blues by 45 points to 21. Well, after all the effort that it took to reach a semi-final of Europe last week at BT Murrayfield against Edinburgh, Munster have 1 foot in the knockout stages of the Pro 14. And they will be very, very tough to beat. It's now 20 matches unbeaten at home. It's 13 straight home wins. And the side who lost 1 here in Cork go home with nothing. Cardiff, as we said, with an exemplary record in this part of the world, but not tonight. Lots of positives for John Mulvihill, no doubt. He was forced into that late change, which saw Gareth Ansem go from 15 to 10. It didn't really seem to affect him too much. But Munster, locked and loaded, really, and with a very strong bench, were just too good. Excellent second half performance. Okay, let's go down and hear from tonight's man of the match, Peter O'Mahony, who is with Maz.
Peter O'Mahony, congratulations, you're tonight's Guinness man of the match. Here to present your award from Guinness is Una McCarthy.
No, non era corta.
Pete, massive performance from you and the guys there tonight. Huge win, and happy with the tries?
Yeah, we were certainly happy with some of the aspects of that. You know, I think Cardiff's attack is certainly one of the best in the league, and you know, I'm very happy with the way our defence held up. You know, 2 or 3 times, first couple of phases, they put us under big pressure and scored some lovely tries. But you know, as a whole, I thought it was a very pleasing performance.
17 at half time. The line out in particular worked very well in the first half. Second half, then you controlled possession. But the subs come on, they really up the tempo of the game.
Yeah, look, it's a huge part of rugby is you know, the 23, and you know, you saw the impact that the lads had, hungry to get game time and make an impact, and I thought they really kind of kicked on our last 30 minutes, kind of 50 minutes on, really kicked on, and you know, it was very important against such a good side like Cardiff.
Move on to Benetton now next week. Are you happy with where your team are at the moment, building towards the end of the season?
Yeah, look, you want to be in rugby at this time of the year, which we are, which is great. So look, no complaints of that. We certainly can have a good look at our performances, and you know, we're going to have to keep building and getting better with the teams that we're coming up against over the next certainly fortnight. You know, we're going to have to be better than probably we've ever been as a squad. So look, we're certainly going that direction. but we've plenty to work on.
Congratulations tonight. Well done, Peter. Thank you. Thanks, Una.
Well done, Peter O'Mahony. Okay, it's just finished up in Scottstown. Glasgow had the bonus point against Ulster, 30 points to 7. Tries by Fraser Brown, Adam Hastings, Tommy Seymour and Xander Ferguson. Rob Herring with Ulster's only try. After tonight's results, here's how Conference A looks. Glasgow stay top on 71 points, 3 points ahead of Munster after they got the bonus point here in Cork, meaning Munster are now guaranteed a home semi-final spot. And tomorrow's live games, Connacht take on Zebra. They have now a great opportunity to try and secure third place before playing Cardiff next weekend. And Ulster's loss tonight means Benetton have a great opportunity against Leinster tomorrow from 7:30. Okay, Donegan, not the most ideal conditions. We're looking pretty cosy here, but listen, you must be happy. Munster got the job done. Bonus point, 6 tries.
Yeah, delighted. I think big performances by certain players. It's great to hear Pete being so honest there. Loads of improvement still with a good win, and look, that's been the story of Munster for the last probably few weeks, getting results but not hitting their straps just yet.
Well, the impact really came from the bench. The likes of CJ Stander, Tyke Byrne, Scannell coming on, making a real impact.
Absolutely, and maybe you start looking at guys in those positions now and thinking they can add from the bench as well. CJ, I think, did great when he came on, but Pete was phenomenal. He really was. He kind of led from the offset, turning over that ball early in the game, and good win.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, Munster got the job done. They got the win here in Cork. Their last time playing here this season. We'll have plenty of reaction and analysis from Donncha and Martin Williams when we come back.
Point of the attack here with Blendall. Back on the inside to Farrell. Seb Davies again with the tackle. Murray now goes. CJ Stander! What have they got coming here? Farrell. That's a great pass to Haley. And Conway for the corner. 5-star Munster in Cork.